I just got back from somewhere new. It was pretty awesome. Flew back home today. You want to know where that was?
Indianapolis!
Yeah, you're probably wondering, why the heck would anyone go to Indiana? Yeah, well, here's why.
With those hatchlings than I do with the ones that I pull out literally as they're coming out of the egg. So what you're saying is feeding them at the same time while they're as a group.
Yeah, so they'll be all together. I'll throw in a handful of pinks.
And a few projects I'm still working with that I literally caught a gravid female in this spot. And one particular locality in Florida.
So, I don't know how to phrase this. I need to think about how to phrase it.
Usually I get my head on the wall and then something.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. So, here comes Amy.
All professionalism gone.
Awesome.
So, while we get the stage ready, I'll just remind everybody what we're doing right now. This is for winning bids. Kidneys? No kidneys.
We did it once, it was a whole thing.
I had to go to Mexico for 6 months, it was terrible. Messy.
Real quick.
So, all the money that's purchased in the auction, I've decided, is going to go towards those tangible items that are associated with this project. And then we're going to be blasting it all over the place, as long as I have permission to do that. And I'll get permission to do that because I don't stop till I get what I want. But anyway.
This is out of print right now. Came out finding this anywhere. It also comes with a nice t-shirt.
Russ Gurley's.
Russ Gurley's line here. I want to say right now you can't get your hands on this book for under $125.
All right, we're gonna start Zach's book off at $80. We got $80, 80, 90, we got 100, 100, we got 120, we got 140, 140, 140, 140, 140, 140, we got 160, 160, and we got 180 on it, 180, and we got 200, and we got 200, he's gonna autograph it, might even give you a hug.
There you go. A ladder snake, wow.
Oh, ladder rat, Scalaris.
There's the belly on it. Cool.
And you see a little of the, when they're juveniles, you see that real faint square hash mark pattern they got in the back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're more that, and they don't have the lines.
Yes, isn't it?
Bryce just taught us something. I can do it several times. She's like,
This is the Godfathers.
Yeah.
Right here.
How's it going?
Who are you?
Amy Zerkle, Zerkle Reptile Company from Columbus, Ohio.
And she is an OG.
I am old
OG,
school.
so she is telling me.
So these are Taiwan beauty snakes from the Columbus Zoo stock that we have. Years ago, Columbus Zoo used to bring these snakes in as feeders for their cobra collection.
Wow.
And we ended up being able to trade with the zoo for laboratory equipment. We traded rat cages to get those. Yeah. And we've been breeding them since the 80s, about 88. We originally started. So we started breeding snakes accidentally in 84, and then we just continued on doing things that we liked.
That's so cool. So with these Taiwanese and any other Asian rat snake, at the beginning, were you just breeding to breed, or were you trying to find different morphs, or was it even before
we didn't
that?
We didn't know about morphs.
That?
It was all before that. You were just lucky to keep two alive because the wild caughts didn't survive. Mortality rate was probably 75 to 80%. So when you got them, you were just happy to keep them alive, honest and truly. Until the reptile shows really kicked in, and we bought our cave beauties from Klaus Dieter Schultz, who wrote the monograph of Fitzinger, the LFA book. It's the big book about rat snakes. He was a German gentleman who specialized in Asian rat snakes, and he brought a lot of them into the hobby. And to buy beauty snakes from him, to buy those cave beauties, he had to buy 3 males to get 1 female.
Oh, yeah.
So we did that at the old Orlando show before it turned into Daytona. That was probably 92.
92?
So yeah, we've been doing it a long time.
That's so fun.
We do what we like, and I don't chase the market, so Rob usually breeds them, and then I take care of the baby stuff.
Great. What would you say is your favorite one, or one on the table that just pops and you just think, this is a nice snake?
Well, you know, the mandarins are really beautiful. It's hard to beat a mandarin. I've never seen one I thought wasn't beautiful.
No, you guys are good. You guys can do stuff too.
That's these guys here.
Oh, okay.
So these guys don't like any extra heat. They're from China, and they like to be cool and damp, which is totally opposite of every other snake you ever want to keep.
Cool and damp. I live in Utah, so how would I keep that?
You would have to keep it in a an air-conditioned room on the floor. And they stay in this cage for a year.
How do you keep it damp?
Well, we keep a damp box in there. This is damp sphagnum moss.
Yeah.
So we do coconut core in the main cage, and then they have a hide box full of damp sphagnum moss, and then they have a dry hide. So they have the option to get cool and damp as they want.
Yeah.
No extra heat whatsoever, and they don't really like light either. So
we're right around 72 degrees?
65 to 75, that range is fine.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, room temperature. So if you're comfortable, they're comfortable. Just out there in your living room in a vivarium.
So why do you like the mandarins so much? Or
I just think they're really underappreciated.
those ones have spots.
Yeah, they're all different. They're all really different. Some are red backed, some have red in between the saddles, some are more gray. But they're really amazing. Then there are a lot of the snakes. Now these don't go through the autogenic color change, but a lot of the beauty snakes, when you look at the Taiwan that I showed you in the picture, these are the babies. So it takes them a while to develop that yellow stripe. But what's really fascinating is with the king rat, you have a baby that looks like this.
Just a little brown turd, and then
it turns into that. And he's not quite done yet. He's still growing. He's still a baby. They'll get up to 8 feet and as big around as a Coke can. So.
That guy over there has a huge big one. It's
I've got big males at home, but these are just some subadults. But it's really interesting. That's called an autogenic change. These rhino rat babies are gray and look like a little twig, and they turn green as they grow. So you have to know the breeder that you get from, so you know what you'll end up with when you get to the adult. And it usually coincides with sexual maturity. So you're going to have this juvenile color until they're sexually mature, and then they're going to have their adult coloration. It takes anywhere from 18 months to 3 years.
So I'm getting a pair of these. And I just need to make room. My buddy will give them to me.
Sure.
Japanese rat snakes.
Okay, so Japanese rats are mainland, and they get big. They're going to get up 5 or 6 feet. So different to that is the Kunisaralan rat snake, which is a really blue phase, but it's small because it's an insular form, and because it was trapped on this island, they didn't have to get as big, and they didn't have as much predation, so they're much smaller. Wow. So the Kunisaralans only get 3 feet, and they're sage blue and green, where your Japanese rats are going to be more green and gray.
So are they the same species, basically? It's just
locality.
Thousands of years
of being
adaptation,
separated.
on
Exactly.
the island.
Darwinism in action.
Do you like the Chinese more than the Japanese? Is there a difference, really?
Well, the Chinese are the little brother to the Taiwan. So these guys only get about 4 feet. Taiwans are going to get 7 feet. And then the blue beauties are going to get up to 14 feet.
Those are big beasts.
Well, they're not. They're actually long and skinny. Yeah. These are arboreal. So even if you saw ours was 12'6", the biggest male we ever had.
12'6".
And Rob and I argued about how big he was, because Rob goes he's not over 10 feet, because like 5 feet of him is just a really long whippy tail that they use to wrap around branches.
Yeah.
So you really can't tell. They don't, this big around at 14 feet doesn't look very big. Yeah, versus, like a Burmese python kind of thing. But yeah, I'm tickled pink to be here and be able to look at every table and see stuff I like.
Have you seen anything out here that you don't see often, or?
You never see any of these snakes.
Yeah, I know. That's how I thought. Just because I'm in Utah, I never see this stuff. But
in the old days, we used to. And then when ball pythons kind of took over the market, it became so saturated that now when you go, it's 75% ball pythons. You don't see all the really cool colubrids. So this is a really great way to spotlight what we love. And I think ball pythons are great. They're a gateway snake for me. They bring people into the hobby. They get them started. There's not a better snake to put in a kid's hand. It used to be that we would do corn snakes, but you know, a baby corn snake's a wiggly little worm.
Yeah,
and you have to wait till they're like a yearling to be a really good kid pet. And then at that size, they're bulletproof, and they do really well. But to put that little tiny, itty-bitty baby pencil-sized thing in somebody's hand, where you can hand them a big chubby ball python, and you know it's going to do great. So I think those are a way to get people into the hobby, and then they advance into something even more interesting.
Your husband showed me this one earlier. Oh. Got it out. That's one I've never seen before.
Well, we have a couple different localities. So this is from France. The ones from Spain are smaller and have a lighter background with orange spots. So I have some baby Spains that haven't hatched out yet.
Wow.
But it's real interesting that these Colubrids, we have babies that hatch out all the way up to Christmas.
Really?
So the black milks don't breed until the middle of July, and they won't hatch until just about Christmas.
And where are you out of again?
Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, okay. Great.
Zerkle Reptile Company on Facebook.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure. You and your husband should do a podcast of just stories. You really could.
Oh.
Hi, I'm Scott Hitchcock. Scott's Great Snakes is the name of my little company, snake breeding.
You have these right here that I've never heard of. Maybe
Yes,
I
sir.
have in passing. What are lightning rats?
Well, it is a T-positive albino morph of black rat snake, and I was fortunate to collect the founding male. This is a picture of him right here. Named him Thor.
Nice, Thor.
It was in a lightning storm.
Oh, hell yeah.
So that's why I named it that. And I got a phone call from a friend of my wife's that there was a weird-looking snake crawling up their tree. By the time I got over there, it was gone, he said, but it had gotten on the roof, and it was in the gutter of his house. And so, even though it was a lightning storm, I said, "Where's a ladder?" And he said, "Well, I've got one right here, but you really want to climb up an aluminum ladder in a lightning storm?" And I was like, "Yes, I do." So I got up there and was able to collect him, and that was a long time ago, and bred it back to a local, black, solid black female.
Yeah.
And produced all, at first, normal-looking hatchlings. Some of the hets, as they mature, they get crazy color on them, which is really weird. But they were all normal, so that the albino part to it is simple recessive, because it wasn't until I raised some of those babies up, bred them back to the dad, that I produced visual babies. These are, I've been doing it for years now, but these are some of the babies.
Those are nice.
So that's the story. I named
kind
it.
of lose this pattern with age, like those ones?
Some of them do. The ones that have more of the color don't. See how that?
It's just very
salmon
color.
Yep.
That's so pretty.
Yep. Those babies are all from this. Is the mom, and then I have a male that looks just like her. He's even more color. So I'm hoping some of those, kind of do some line breeding of it and bring that color out even more over a few generations. I also want to outcross it back to something else, just to not have it be so, bottlenecked.
That's cool.
Yep.
Then you have
There's
some
a few
other
people
stuff.
working with them. Clint's working with them, and Snake Discovery's working with them, and a few other people,
Yeah.
gotten a little following.
Now, one other thing is, I don't have king snakes, but I always see these posted on herp videos and think, why are speckleds not as popular as everything else?
Oh, I know
because
it.
they look so cool.
They are too. I don't know, to be honest with you. The babies hatch out pretty small, and they can be tough to get to feed. But I mean, one that you'd buy at a herp sale is generally already established and feeding. So I'm not sure why people don't buy them more often for pets, but I think they're awesome.
They look nice.
I've got some Harris County, Texas locale also that are, they're not big enough to breed yet, but their throats and their spots are all like lemon yellow. And they're really, really beautiful. I think they're the best ones, the Harris, Texas ones.
And then you work with falsies?
Yep, falsies, hognose, I work with quite a bit of stuff. Black-headed pythons, Woma pythons.
Black-headed pythons are
Yep.
awesome. We
Yep.
won't talk about those today.
As far as Colubrids, though, yeah, I work with bulls and pines. Some New Jersey locale of northern pines, just beautiful black and white. Kentucky pine.
Kentucky pine.
Yep.
Pretty.
She's grouchy.
Oh yeah, you grumpy.
Some bull snake morphs. I've got some stillwater hypos and some flames and albinos and a few different morphs of bull snakes. Not crazy on it, but I like it. You know, I love it. Hognose is really my favorite.
Oh really?
Thing and my biggest. Yeah.
All right, awesome. Thanks. That was
Right
cool. Scott's Great Snakes. Who are you?
I am Kayla Martin with Infrared Reptiles.
So, what do you mainly work with? Looks like a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, mostly the Honduran milk snakes. Yeah. And then I dabble in a few of the more unusual Colubrids. And these guys are. So I've got the Madagascar hogs.
Awesome, look at that. What a thing.
These are green bush rat snakes.
Green bush rat snakes. What are so? There's so many Gonyosoma that I hear about, but I don't ever see them. And then also a lot of the podcasts say it, but I don't ever get a visual. So what are
the so the Persinums are awesome. It's a green snake with blue eyes.
Oh.
They stay small. They do well at room temperature. They're super easy to take care of.
Wow, yeah, those eyes are awesome.
They're one of the more mild of the Gonyosoma. They're not quite as bitey.
Gonyosoma Persinum.
Yes.
Wow, yeah, this is something I've never seen, so this is great. It's so beautiful. It does. It's like a Texas blue-eyed cystic but with green.
They make
cool.
They make awesome display snakes.
Oh, for sure.
They're very active during the day. They're not very shy.
That's nice.
We've got the Tumen Island Red Kukri
Kukri. So I love DM Exotics. I love his videos because he shows stuff like this that I'll never see. So Kukri. So tell me about this because I don't know anything about them other than.
So they have a very large tooth in the center of their mouth that is named for the Kukri dagger.
What the heck, really?
They don't hesitate to bite, and you'll need stitches.
Oh,
so
lordy.
I don't recommend doing anything with them without gloves.
So not a snake for a 7-year-old.
Correct. Yeah, they definitely know how to use the teeth.
And how is this is last year baby?
Yes, so these are captive bred last year's babies. They are egg eaters, so they use that tooth to crack open an eggshell. In the wild, they would primarily feed on reptile eggs. In captivity, we just use quail or chicken eggs. And they slurp down that yolk.
Oh, so they crack it open, get in there, and slurpee it up, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you got me scared with that unicorn tooth. No, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
All right, that's one I will never touch. Cool. And I think the coolest one you have, at least in my opinion, are
not a professional one.
these.
Yeah.
And you're saying you have what are the three again?
So the giants, Madagascar giant, Madagascar speckled, and Madagascar blonde.
Nice.
And I have all three.
Yeah. They're gaining ground. They're becoming more popular, it seems
They
like.
are, especially the giants. Those are the easiest to find of the three.
And then what do you feed?
She gets a little of everything. Rodents, fish, quail, chicks, shrimp, quail eggs.
Shrimp, huh?
Oh, yeah.
How do you pick the shrimp?
Just from the store.
Just Walmart, or do you go more fancy?
Just Walmart. As long as I soak it in water just to get any extra salt off of it. It's not a regular in their diet. It's just added for variety.
That's cool. Yeah, variety, it matters.
But they are garbage disposals.
Really?
I gotta go down the street. That's like a weird machine. You put cash in it to get a card. It's the opposite.
Okay.
Anyway, I gotta go across the street.
Okay.
It's worth it.
Thank you.
Well, cool. All right, so you have a lot more. You're becoming more popular online, I've seen, which is awesome.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
How are you?
Mad hog. Giant. Whoa.
They all took
Possibly if he has the records to the stuff that I sold. If he hung on those cards.
Oh yeah.
That's all I need. I need those numbers. I'll figure this out by the time we get out of here. I get pretty damn close.
Hang on.
Alrighty, so
How do we keep getting this?
who are you guys?
I am Katie Westmoreland, and this is
I'm Eric Westmoreland.
Eric Westmoreland and Katie. All right. So, what do you all do at snake shows? What do you bring?
Well, corn snake's the majority of what we got, but technically we work with about 26 different other species.
Wow. Yeah, you have beautiful. Everybody knows who ECW is for sure. So, each one of you, what is a snake over here that just pops? You look at and think, I love this snake. It's amazing.
Let her pick. I'm always picking.
this one.
The Miami Hypo Shatter.
Let me get it out.
If you want to. All right. So the Miami is a line, right?
Yep.
And then the Shatter, is that recessive or?
You'll have to ask the expert. I'm sorry.
She just loves how it looks. That's awesome. That's how it should be. It's a cool snake.
I just like the bluish gray tint to it.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that it's just going to get prettier as it ages. Eric, Shatter, recessive?
Yes.
Shatter's recessive?
All recessive traits. Sun-kissed, hypo, cinder. It's all in there.
What was the first pairing that you guys did that really just popped off, or did you do multiple?
When we started this,
When you first
again, or
Yeah.
back in the 90s.
Whatever got you going and thinking, man, corn snakes I love.
I got to think back. That was 12 years ago now. We got back into it.
I told him from walking around Tinley that if he wanted to breed snakes again, he wasn't allowed to do ball pythons. There were too many ball pythons. We live in the Midwest. If a snowstorm goes through and the power goes out, at least if we have Colubrids, that's it. We can have them survive. But if we have ball pythons, they're going to die if we can't get the house warm enough for them. And I said, everybody, there's more ball pythons in Tinley than in Africa, and I wanted to do something different. And we used to do cow kings back in the 90s. So when he got back into it, we didn't even get cow kings till we were 3 years in.
Yeah.
We started out with corns, and I told him to get adults. Start out with that and wholesale some things to get money to get what he wanted.
Yeah. First thing we ever bred was boas.
Well, yeah, back in the 90s. We bred cow kings, boas, and gopher snakes. That was, and leopard geckos. And
I can't remember what the first corn snake we produced. It was like, wow.
You have so many.
Probably a lavender stripe the first time around.
Do you have your own line that is ECW, this is my line that I perfected? Or?
Well, we're kind of closing in on these. It's our stud male Miami Hypo Sun-Kissed.
Wow, that's pretty.
So this is
named Bam Bam.
Oh, yeah.
This is Bam Bam, and his head is blue. I don't know
Yeah.
if the camera picks up the blue, but that's why I like those Miami Shatters, because that blue color is just, I love it. I think it's amazing.
Nice.
That, and then we got another line most of the corn snake peeps out there know about, my Miss Benny line.
Miss Benny, I've heard that.
When we got back into snakes, like she said, I just went on, this is back on kingsnake.com, and picked up a
it was listed as an anery female, but it was just really nice. It looked like it was like an Okatee phase or thick bordered banded phase. When we got her in, we got him in, it was supposed to be a boy, hence the name. It was Benny, and then we had to switch because it was a female, so Miss Benny. But yeah, she ended up proving out just all kinds of different heads and now throwing all kinds of crazy different stuff.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Do you know where she came from, or lines, or anything?
The line, no. I got her off of Don Eby.
Oh, yeah.
He picked it up in a trade with somebody.
Okay. Well, it worked out. That's nice.
Yeah.
Well, you all have beautiful animals, for sure.
Thank you.
That one is great. Well, anything else you want to tell the millions and millions of fans that you have?
No, this has been amazing. This has been a very fun weekend.
It has.
It's been
very
great. Awesome weekend.
Yeah, it's been nice just chatting and having a good time.
Plug for Colubridfest.
Colubridfest.
They're going to have it. He said they're going to try September again next year.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Cool. Next year, baby.
Yep.
All right, so who are you?
Hi, I'm Paul with Paul's Cool Scales.
Paul's Cool Scales. That's a good name. Paul's Cool Scales. So I've seen your YouTube videos because I was looking up things. What's your deal, really? What do you work with? What do you do?
The uncommon, bigger colubrids in general is kind of what we gravitate towards. The dry Marcon, Prebos and Indigos, love them. These guys, any of the Matthias, false water cobras, Russian rats, kind of all over the place. It's hard to decide what we're going to do next, but yeah, so we just kind of got a little of everything. It's a wide variety, I guess.
For people who've only seen these on video, they're massive.
Yeah.
That's a big snake.
A
big racer. That's what I'll call it.
Let's figure it out. We can do this here. Yeah. Hey, buddy.
It's a runner.
Stretched out. Yeah.
It's a track star.
So
how long is that, dude? 8, 9?
He's pushing, I would say closer to 10. Yeah.
10.
So I'm 6, a little over 6, and right up there.
Wow. Great. So, what do you keep something like? What's the best caging?
As big as you can figure out. I mean, space-wise, we got an 8-foot PVC for this guy. Could use bigger, but we get him out as much as we can to get him his enrichment, and he loves it.
So 8 by
2 is what we have. You could use a little more.
Yeah.
Vertical space, ideally. But again, we try to get these guys out, play with them a lot. It's fun for us to learn how to learn their body language. For sure, these guys are very visual, a lot to know. So you don't get bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Not that doesn't happen. Just this morning, a couple times, getting prepared for the Colubridfest.
That's the tooth mark right there.
Yeah.
When you got the nice snake, the row.
Yeah.
The row of needles.
For sure.
So how long have you bred these, or?
Have not yet. I don't got the females get bought up so fast. I haven't been able to get an adult female yet. Still working on that. But again, just enjoying and learning the species for the time being. They're not very, very common, so trying to figure out what they're all about. And,
the only really, the DM Exotics,
Yeah.
that's the only guy that really posts quality, good, consistent, I'm doing this and I have this, and working with this and this.
Exactly.
They're cool to see in person.
Yeah, they're pretty impressive. His name is Jericho.
Jericho. It's mutant black racer for sure, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So, Paul's Cool Scales. Thanks, man.
Oh, my name's Brett Seibert, from a little bit north of Chicago, and these are Apex Mountain king snakes. We do king snakes, montane king snakes, some milk snakes, and just some some random branches of that family.
Nice.
Some Florida king snakes right there. Some legitimate brooks from Dade County. Sold off a lot of our mountain king snakes this morning.
Oh, that's good.
Some nice Pyromilana here, Arizona mountain king snakes. Eastern chain kings. Florida sulfur.
What would you say is, if you had to pick your favorite on the table of these?
Of these, I gotta like the Leonis, the variable king snakes. Just as a breeder, they're pretty much one of the breeder's favorites. You never know what you're going to get out of a clutch. Kind of nice about this event. A lot of people at other events don't know what those are.
Yeah.
And here, I almost sold all of them in one day.
Wow.
So.
And is it true that they're like snowflakes? Not one is the same.
They're all different. You could get that from this milk snake phase here to a Leonis phase here to almost an intermediate phase right there, and you could get all those out of the same clutch, which is that's a fun thing to do for a breeder.
Yeah. How long have you been doing it?
I've had snakes all my life for many years. Kind of seriously started breeding around 2018.
Oh, great.
Not as long as a lot of these guys.
No, it's fine. It's just a fun, beautiful hobby.
It's a good way to kill a lot of spare time and.
Yeah. Well, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
One thing I was throwing a load of cereal boxes. I found them.
10 and 12.
No, I like cereal boxes.
Everyone tells you, but until you really use the video
Even now.
All right, who are you?
Clint Bartley with Metazotics and CCR, Colubrid Colubroid Radio.
Awesome. So you have a lot of stuff. If you had to pick your top favorite type of snake on the table or something that you just love, that draws your eye, what would you go to right now?
Oh, it'd probably have to be down here. Excuse me, buddy. I love the Asian rat snakes, and I'll tell you one of my favorites on the table right now would be the Vietnamese locality Mandarin rat.
Vietnamese.
Yeah, that locality is going to get larger than the Chinese. Going to push about 6 feet. Big, beautiful, gorgeous animal.
Do these get bigger than the Taiwanese?
No, Taiwans are going to get bigger than them.
Okay.
Taiwan's going to push the 7, maybe 8 foot range.
Man, you have a lot. How long have you been in the Asian rats?
Oh gosh, I want to say probably 20-ish years at this point.
Really? Mm-hmm. What was your first Asian rat that you got?
Very first was bamboo rats, cockseye. This is what started it. These guys right here.
Cockseye. It's good to see these in person when I hear about them all the time on all the podcasts and everything. Cockseye and Mandarin. Awesome.
And then it just kind of blew up from there. I mean, there's so many that aren't on the table here because honestly they just kind of sell so dang quick because they're so popular, but I'm a real big fan of the blue beauties. I mean, they can come out with little attitudes, but when you've got a blue and slate gray animal as an adult, it's hard to not love it.
It does seem like these are catching traction the last couple of years. People are falling in love with these blue beauties.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how far away are these? Are these related closely, or
closely? Yeah. I mean, they're kind of, we'll call it in the beauty family, but a little bit separate personalities there. And then you have different localities, like even within these. So this is more of a Malaysian locality. It's going to have a little bit more of an olive green color as an adult, but then the Cameron Highland, if you go online and search those, that's the popular one with a yellow and kind of a purplish blue, streak on it.
Look at that head.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh man, that's actually picking up a little bit.
What's that?
Both girls?
From what I could tell, yeah. Off the boat.
Well, I mean, you got picked up.
That's it, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's it. Pretty sure. And I've got more. So if you need more,
Now, one thing with someone like you that breeds so many beautiful animals, how do you pick a holdback? Which ones do you see and think, I need to keep this?
So a lot of times it's going to be, especially when you're working with some of the more let's say, outlining species that aren't everywhere, it's who's eating.
Oh, yeah.
And that's always important because a lot of times there's not tons of them because they aren't the easiest thing to get going.
Yeah.
So who's eating, and then I'll just look for a lot of the traditional markings. Like, for example, on the cock's eye, what I really prefer is, clean stripes without too many banding pieces inside. If the bands go outside the stripes, I stay away from them completely because at that point it's a cross, it's not pure.
Oh, really?
So there's little things, it depends on the species to really narrow down what it is I'm looking to achieve, out of the humpbacks.
Yeah, that's a smart way to do it. Now, that's for these ones that are not as popular. What about typical rat snakes and king snakes? How do you pick those holdbacks?
Then it's going to be like, sometimes for me it's if they have the cleanest pattern. So if they look the most traditional, that'll be it. But then there's others where maybe I want the most vibrant, out of the clutch, going in a certain direction. So it can be either one of those, really.
That makes sense. And then there's some that just pop. You're like, ooh, this is so cute. I love
this
it.
This is what the heck is this? Now I've got to.
Right here.
Yeah, this looks completely different. I got to keep this for 2 years to figure out what the heck it
It's a
is.
male. I don't need it, but it's so beautiful. I have
Right,
to keep it.
right, exactly.
Becomes your favorite pet.
Exactly.
Cool, man. Well, again, thanks for putting this on. This is awesome.
Thank you for coming. We couldn't do it without you guys.
I'm gonna have to get you on here.
No,
later
you
someday.
Everybody's heard enough from me.
No, I could listen to you 5 hours a day. It's great. Cool, thanks. Who are you?
I am Sarah Moore with Sarah's Snake Shop. I sell corn snakes and corn snake accessories, including books that I wrote. If you're interested in learning about corn snake morphs, you can also check out my YouTube channel, which is also Sarah's Snake Shop on YouTube.
Ooh.
Heck yeah.
What is your... I know you don't have a favorite snake, but if you had to pick out of all of these...
Out of the babies? So I'm actually in love with Ultramels, and I think this boy is probably one of my favorites. He's just got such bright yellow colors and just the most hilarious little feisty attitude. And I just love him to death. I just think he's so sweet. I don't know. And I'm in love with Ultramels. Ultramels are just my thing. And I think the Snow Tessera is going to have to be my second favorite.
Can't go wrong with the snow.
She's awful pretty. I kind of like her a lot.
Awesome. Well, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
This video will be somewhere.
Have fun.
Hi, we're Select Snakes. We're from Cincinnati, Ohio. We breed a bunch of different Colubrids. This show we've got Plains Hogs and Eastern King Snakes. We also work with Dry Marken, Pituophis, a handful of garters.
All right, so what would you say is your favorite snake on the table?
On the
if
table,
you could pick, if that's possible.
I had to pick, probably the Super Yetis. Yeah, I mean, people love these guys. They're Super Yeti. This is a Superconda Xanthic albino hognose, and all those genes together gives you a pretty much pure pink snake.
Wow. Do they stay this color as adults?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Sometimes they get a little more white, sometimes they get a little more pink, but roughly look like this.
Nice. I don't have hognose, so I don't know. Is there much change between babies and adults with hognose? Like corn snakes and rat snakes, there's a huge change.
Definitely not that dramatic. I think kind of like a lot of young snakes, the younger ones are generally slightly more saturated. I think that their color diffuses a little bit as they get older, but for the most part, what you see is what you'll end up getting.
Cool. Awesome. So, Select Snakes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right, who are you?
I'm Joe DiStefano with Meteor Serpents on the Colubrid Corruption podcast.
Podcast is awesome. I love listening to it.
Thanks.
So, what is it that you're doing here?
So we got all Texas rats here today. Bunch of different kinds. A lot of scaleless animals. We got scaleless double het leucistic aneries. These three. These are actually all siblings as well as this one. This one's a scaleless leucistic het anery. He's awesome. Then I brought a couple other ones. These I produced this year. Some het scaleless and 50% double het leucistic anery. So a cool way for people to get in the project, kind of on the low, just with some hets. They want to shoot for that. Then some other fun ones. I brought a cadmium Texas rat, which is pretty cool.
This is unique. What's the story of this?
Yeah, you can look it up. It's literally a website called cadmiumtexasratsnake.com or something like that, and it has the whole story on there. And I'd probably just botch the whole story, but
How do you spell that? Cadmium?
cadmium, so CADMIUM.
Okay.
But yeah, it's this interesting kind of color variation that's almost like a hypomelanistic. Obviously, you see those grays in there, but it's really kind of light.
Well, it's not going to pick up on camera the peaches that are in the scales.
Yes.
And then the tail, maybe you can see that a bit, but the peach really pops with the cream and the gray hair. That's a beautiful
And
animal.
from what I know, the males and females are actually sexually dimorphic.
Oh, really?
So the females are a bit darker. The males are the ones that get light and stay lighter. So yeah. Cool. And then this one, perhaps the most interesting one. So I picked this up from a gentleman who just bred, some North American rat snakes, and he has a line of these red Texas rat snakes, and I saw this at a show.
This is what you've talked about.
Yeah. Okay. This is an animal I saw at the show, and it was a little more red than all its clutch mates, and it checks off all the boxes for being a Texas. So
yeah, I would think
whatever,
it's some kind of Florida.
Whatever people want to maybe believe, but I'm pretty sure that's a Texas rat snake, and we'll see what happens when it pairs with something.
It's pretty. It looks unique. That's nice.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Then I also got some t-shirts, the new Colubrid Corruption t-shirts, and some.
Oh, there's a new one. Let's get
Meteor
corrupted.
tees.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, good job. Podcast is great.
Thank you.
It's a good addition to the Colubrid world. So thanks, man. Good looking snakes.
Hi, my name is Michael Workman, and I'm with Serpentine Works here. And we primarily sell corn snakes and very few hogs, but mainly corn snakes, a lot of sun-kissed varieties.
Nice. Yeah, your snakes are awesome.
Yes. Yeah, these are the sun-kissed motleys, sun-kissed ghost motleys. This line produces a lot of pinstripes. I have some palmettos, I have some Miamis down here, and a lot of sun-kissed and sun-kissed tesseras.
Now, I think the most famous snake you have today are these little
so these are
squishy ones.
These are bantams. There may be a possibly up-and-coming morph. I'm working with Dean, who is the breeder of them. We're still figuring out the genetics and see if it's something doable, but it seems to be a recessive at this point. He's bred them for 2 years now and gets similar results each year. So.
And what's special about these ones?
So these seem to be a dwarf type corn snake. So it appears that so what we think is going on is that everything's getting really compressed. So I think these still have the same amount of scale spread. I think just everything's really compressed on them. But they seem to move fine, they seem to eat fine, they don't seem to have any mobility issues. These guys are 1.5 years old and they're thriving. All the other siblings are also doing well, none have been failure to thrive. So we're just going to see where we go with it and see if it's something that we can produce.
It's a fun thing about corn snakes, huh?
Yep.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. This is Phoenix. He's a 5-year-old scaleless corn snake.
Oh.
He's one of our ambassadors. He's great. He's a dad.
It is velvety,
he
soft.
is chill. He likes to hang out.
I don't have any scaleless.
Scaleless are great.
Yeah, they're so fun.
I mean, people are always so wary of them, but they really do well.
They're not like the scaleless ball pythons that have issues.
No, not at all.
These thrive because they have the ventral scale still.
Yeah,
right?
they still have full belly scales. They still have eye caps. They still shed in one piece.
What a cool, beautiful, freckly little weird-looking critter.
Yeah.
Look, it even has the little zits on its
Yeah,
tail.
he has a little bit left.
No, that's what makes him fun.
But he's great.
Such the variety.
He is a chill guy.
All right, so Serpentine Works has some cool stuff. All right, who are you?
We are Seeing Snakes. I'm Cody. This is Carol.
Hi, I'm Carol.
Yeah, and we breed corn snakes, king snakes, and we got some really nice zigzags. Let me show you these zigzags.
Yeah, these are nice. These are fun-looking zigzags. So So corn snake, zigzags. So are these your favorite? You would say, pretty much.
Yeah, I would say the zigzags, and I love these black Mexican kings.
Yeah, people love these little black ones, huh?
Yep, you can find us on Facebook, or you can come to the show and meet us here.
Where are you out of again?
Bryant, Indiana.
Bryant, Indiana.
Just south of Fort Wayne.
Nice. Awesome. Beautiful corn snakes. Plasma. What is plasma exactly? Is that just a is plasma just a base morph, or is it?
No, it's diffused in lavender.
Oh, nice. Oh, I should be making some of that. I have all those ingredients then.
Yes.
Cool. Corn snakes, baby, the best. They're the best.
Yeah, they are.
Cool. Hey, thanks.
Thank you.
They are very, very friendly. So you just kind of act like a tree, and they'll climb on you. See, he's kind of looking like, where's the next branch? Use both hands, kind of spread your hands.
All right, who are you?
My name is Roy Klinger with R&JK Reptiles.
R&JK Reptiles. How far away is Mooresville from here?
It's about 30 minutes south of here.
Cool. And it looks like you dabble in corn snakes and a little other.
Corn snakes, I do house snakes, Florida king snakes. Got some Everglades over here too. Dabble in some, some pythons as well. So, yes, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but I really enjoy the corn snakes and the king snakes.
Yeah, those are nice. I haven't really seen much of these ones. Those are pretty cool looking.
They are, yeah. I think those have got a little bit of erythrics in them.
No, the light. I get it. What would you say is your favorite snake on the table, or one that just you love?
Those are back home. Those are actually back home.
Oh, really?
But you know what? I really like these creamsicles. I think I've got one held back there. These are kind of neat. It's the first time I've produced these. I get some bred factor in with these creamsicles.
Yeah.
So I'm growing these up, and I think they're going to look better and better with every shed.
They do. I have creamsicle. I've produced a lot of them. Especially the ones that are soda pop orange and just pop. Creamsicle is beautiful.
They are.
They are. Cool. Well, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I am Michelle with Alchemy Exotics, located close to Cincinnati, Ohio.
Great. Alchemy Exotics. And mainly corn snakes?
Mainly corn snakes of all different morphs. We have a lot of new morphs that we brought out that hatched this year that we're ready to go. All really, really good eaters and ready for new homes.
Which one or which morph or line is your favorite, would you say?
My favorite are probably the classic palmettos because I like their blue eyes and they have some really, really nice. They have some really, really nice spots.
Yeah, you have a lot of them. Oh, so the classic right here. So that's an albino palmetto, right?
That one's a snow albino. They're also kind of hard to find. They have super light butter yellow spots when they mature. And the classics have red and black spots with blue eyes. We also have some caramel, and next year we're hoping to have some butter.
Wow.
If you want, I can take a belly lid off.
Yes.
All right. Alchemy Exotics.
Thank you.
Thank you. They don't.
I'm Travis.
I'm Cassidy.
And we're Mid-America Reptiles.
Mid-America Reptiles. Awesome. And where are you all from?
We're in Southeast Iowa.
Southeast Iowa. All right, and you are corn snakes and...
Corn snakes, Lamprepeltis.
Pretty much that. Corn snakes and Lamprepeltis for Colubrids.
Yeah? What would you say is, I'll ask for both of you to pick, what's one snake on the table that just, you look at and think, ooh, I love it?
Probably Jasper. That's our palmetto. He's the show snake we always bring around.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
It's your baby?
He travels around with us.
Good old palmetto. This one's really pretty. It's not going to show up on camera at all, but this Patrick, super red factor snow. Yeah, you're not going to see that on camera, how awesome the peach red. Did you produce this one?
We did not. We didn't produce that. We actually got that from a guy down in Florida, and he did produce some of the babies we have on the table. Again, probably not going to show up, but he does do some nice reds.
Was he white like this as a youth?
He was a little lighter. I mean, he had a lot of red, more red than this, but
We have a couple holdbacks that are pretty pink.
So this one may look a little bit like him, not nearly as pretty.
Pretty red though.
No, that's a beautiful animal. That's just so unique. What'd you pair him with to get these?
Another red factor snow, or Tessera. So he's not Tessera, but the mom was.
Oh, great. What's red factor exactly? What does that do?
The red factor is incomplete dominant. Just basically, as you can kind of see on these, it just basically brings out the red in the animal. The corn snakes naturally have some red, but it just creates a lot more blushing.
Oh, really? So if you want to embrace the red, get the red factor in your line?
Yep.
Nice.
Exactly. That's what, like, even these corn, some of these EROs or ROs have more of like a reddish head on them.
Last year we had some red factor EROs, and they really kind of looked a lot more like this one, a lot more red.
That's pretty. Just caramel, huh?
Yeah.
One of my favorite snakes is my butter Tessera, but I don't think I've ever produced just a regular caramel.
So if you want, that's a butter scaleless.
Did you produce this one?
That's from South Mountain Reptiles.
Oh, okay.
He did produce these ones.
Oh, so you do have actual scaleless. Mm-hmm. Is this your first time hatching them?
It is.
Wow.
Yep, this is our first year hatching scaleless.
How much are these going to change with age, do you think?
I don't think they're going to change a whole lot. I think that, so he is an Okatee, so I do think that this one has some more of that Okatee look to it. So I think that this one's going to turn out quite a bit like him. But I think they're really going to look pretty much just like him.
Pretty much like him, yeah.
That's cool.
They fade a little bit with age.
Yeah,
the darker colors, if you're getting a scaleless, the darker colors hold up better.
Yeah,
Darker
more
hold up
contrast.
more?
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll look like that its whole life. Yeah.
That's fun. Cool. Well, thanks. Well,
Thank you.
Where can they find you at? Just
Morph Market, Facebook, Instagram.
Oh, here we go.
Probably more than that.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You don't really have to grip it too much. Just kind of put your hands underneath and like, that cross
We had horses and dogs, birds.
15. And I just came home and I went,
Well, I
doing it.
got a legless lizard, and my mom goes, "That's a snake. Take that back to the pet store." And I go, "Has a."
All right, who are you?
I am Zac Ensley from Terra-Fauna Exotics.
Nice.
I'm Kaylin, also from Terra-Fauna Exotics.
Wonderful. Terra-Fauna.
Yep. We do a lot of corn snake morphs. Also working on a very extensive Pantherophis project, as well as a very extensive Lamprepeltis Getula, former Getula complex project. My goal is eventually to have coast-to-coast Lamprepeltis Getula from Florida all the way to California and Baja California. Wow. Every species in between.
How many do you have left?
I have 2. I need 3. Eastern Kings, I need Outer Banks Kings, and Speckled Kings.
Oh, really?
Speckled Kings are a native for me. I do have Eastern Black Kings coming next week. And beyond that, I have everything else.
Awesome.
So, and then I also have the goal to have the entire Pantherophis genus, a representative, all the way across the board. And then eventually, this is years down the road, the Pituophis. I want to kind of be a bank for those species that, hey, these aren't going anywhere because I'm producing them right here. So,
And then besides his projects, I breed a few species of hognose species. The main one being Madagascar giants. I'm hoping to, unfortunately my male died of old age, so I'm hoping to have babies next season. And then I also breed tricolor hognoses.
Oh, nice.
So, again, I'm out of them. We don't produce enough of those to make it to most shows.
That's all right. So what would you say is your favorite snake on the table now?
The Baird's.
Right here.
Oh, wow.
Baird's rat snake.
Oh.
She is.
Pop it out, babe.
Yep. Whip it out, babe. And nice. And this is going to change a lot with age, huh?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So her dad is Silver.
I can't pick it out. Of course, the thing about the snakes is it never looks as good on the video.
Yeah.
The dad is silver with the black patterning a little bit, and then orange spots. The mom is like blood orange with a little bit of black patterning and a little bit of a silver overtone. So I have no idea what she's going to look like. The mom, I kept a male and 2 females, and then a friend of mine also kept a female. So we will definitely find out what they look like.
Heck yeah.
So this is our only female left for the season. And I'm going to be breeding the same pair next year, so I can definitely hook somebody up with a male next year.
Nice, and then they can get you right on.
That's actually my personal phone number, and we also have Facebook.
Oh, wonderful. Morph Market, Fauna.
Yep.
Just call him.
Yeah.
Please call him.
Send him text. Send him Venimo requests. All right, cool. Well, thanks, everybody.
Yeah. But, I've got, I don't have it wrote down. I've got Castani. I don't have any visuals yet, but I've got into